Hey friend, how are you doing? My name is Celeste and welcome to this edition of Friday Sews, where we talk about what we've been sewing and a little bit about life. So yes, I have been a little bit MIA on the Friday Sews kind of video chat. I will share more about that a little bit later, but I do want to share with you what I've been working on and what I've completed. So I have been using this Funky Friends Factory pattern. I got the memory bear. Let me take it out of the package. You can probably see it a little bit better. I purchased it through Amazon. You can purchase it through their website. It's a Melody Memory Bear. The reason why I purchased on Amazon because I wanted to make sure the reviews were good and people had actually used it, and they did. And I also found that it was very, very easy to use. So what I've been carrying around, my dad has been gone for now 14 years. I've been carrying around some very special shirts and a pair of blue jeans that were just brought back a lot of memories about him. So I'm going to get through this. I made this little memory bear, the first time I ever made anything like this. So the light blue are some of his jeans that he used. So I used it on the little bear tummy and its ears. These jeans he bought from Sears Roebuck back in the 80s. And when I think of him in these blue jeans in his white t-shirt, working out in the backyard, whether it be mowing the lawn, working in his garden, grilling. That is what he always wore, kind of just to kind of muck around the house. So those are very special. In fact, they have a little bit of stain right there, like Clorox stain, but that makes it even more special. Also, I chose some of his shirts. Now, this took me a little over a week to complete. It wasn't complicated, but because these were such special shirts and there was no room for error, I really took a lot of extra time, probably more time than I needed to, but I wanted to make sure it was just right. So these are the F-22s. He worked for Lockheed Martin. He was on the F-22 design team. And so I wanted to make sure those were centered on the feet. Those were like little pocket things that he had. This was from another shirt here. These are from shirts. And then I gave him a shirt calling, he's a best dad, one of a kind. So I used that. So I was pretty pleased with this. Now the eyes, you can buy these. I got these at Hobby Lobby back where they have the miniature doll sets. And then I used felt for the nose. So all in all, I was very pleased with him. He's very comfy and squeezable. The only thing that was my error is that I really don't use ladder stitching very much. So I wasn't really pleased how the back came out, but I was trying to unpick it and redo it, but then the shirt started to fray a little bit, so I just left it as is. And we'll just learn from my next one I'm going to complete with my mother's kind of things there. So I took it out to my husband and I said, what do you think? It looks like a bear. I'm like, good, that's what it's supposed to look like. I'm very, very pleased with it and was able to use up those shirts and a pair of blue jeans that I've been carting around for very, very a long period of time. There was still a lot of shirt material left over, so I cut those in 5x5 squares. As you know, or if you don't know, I make a pillowcase for my nephews and nieces every year based on kind of a theme for their year. Been doing it since they went into their big boy and big girl beds at the age of 2. Now they're much older than that. And so I was hoping that maybe I can incorporate some of those 5x5 squares of his shirt into their quilt because they were quite young when he passed. And so that way they'll have a little bit of their grandpa with them. I've also been kind of doing some embroidery, and I've made 2 towels. Well, I made many more, but the stitching really tore up the towels. So of the ones I made, here are the 2 that are presentable. So I really like this Hello Fall. I got this design from Embroidery Library, and I've been having that for quite some time. And these towels were things that I got from my mother's estate before I put it on the market and sold it. So these were free to me towels, and then these were already a purchased um, embroidery design there. And then I have this nice little pumpkin. I like the shading here, again from Embroidery Library. And I use Floriani thread in my embroidery machine, and so these also were very nice. I thought they turned out really well, and be ready for the fall to use that. Although I'm recording this before Thanksgiving, it will air after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great one. But since I didn't get to use them this year, I'll put them away to use for next year or to use as hostess gifts when I'm invited to different events at people's homes. So I'm very pleased with that. So what am I working on now? So I've had this pattern, Shabby Fabrics. It's a Holly and Berries table runner. I've had this probably for 10-ish years. And so I had a lot of fabric. I needed to go out and purchase two fabrics that I did not have from my local quilt store. And so I am beginning to work on this. And so my Christmas theme are hollies, berry. I have, my mother bought me the Lennox holiday Christmas dishes, and she had for many, many years, she made all of these. So I have a complete set, and there have the holly berries, and then my Christmas tree skirt is holly and berries. I just like that. So when I found this, I thought, oh, this will be great to make for a table. And so I bought the two pieces of fabric, and I just remembered I had to buy the little charm pack because I didn't have enough Christmas fabric to make into a charm pack. And so I went ahead and purchased that last year. And it's been in my bag for me to work on. So I've actually got that out, and I'm beginning to cut it. It may or may not be finished before Christmas, and if so, that's okay. I'm working on a UFO that I have to complete. So this has been kind of on my to-do list for a couple of years, and this year it has risen more to the top. So that's what I'll be working on this coming up week after I decorate for Christmas. And so that's what I'm working on. I am planning to make one of these bears again. I have my mother's shirts and things that I want to make into a bear. They're kind of more silky, and so I wanted to try it with more cotton fabric or jean fabric. And so I wanted to give that a test before I went into a little bit more delicate fabric to make. And so I'm really happy with that. So that's what I've been working on. What I'm planning to do in the future, as I showed, finishing up with those things. I've redone my room for the 6th time in 3.5 years, but I really like how the format is now. I can get a lot more accomplished, and I don't feel so claustrophobic in this space. So very, very thankful for that. So as I said, why have I not been on here for quite some time? Well, it has been a 1.5 years. Many of you have followed my journey of being a caregiver for my mom, and that ended May of 2024. She passed, and so then I went into the whirlwind of now being her power of attorney and medical power of attorney and caregiver to executor, and so that has been a lot to do, and still have a few more things to work out with her estate. But I just needed time. I just couldn't come on here. Just needed some time to work through that. Still working through some of that, but that's where I've been doing those kinds of things. Changing jobs. I did change jobs, and in a very good, healthy environment, which I'm very, very thankful for. So I'm very thankful that I made that decision and moved over to a different position in a different church. So very thankful for that. So I hope that you and your family have had a wonderful Thanksgiving and are looking forward to the Christmas season. Do you have a theme for your Christmas decoration? Do you have like one theme like I do, hollies and berries? If so, I would love to know more about that. You can drop it in the comments below. And also, how many Christmas trees do you have in your home? Well, I've just purchased my fourth one, so I will hopefully be able to share more of those, and that fourth one will go in my husband's man cave with all of his sports memorabilia on it. So I'm looking forward to that. That's something we've been talking about for quite some time. So I was able to get that at a really good deal and plan on putting that up in his space and decorate it for him. So I hope that you have a great holiday season with your families and friends, and with your family and friends. And I look forward to seeing you again on my next edition of Friday Sews. Take care, my friend, and happy sewing.